ABC 17's Evan Millward is in Moore, Oklahoma for us this morning and explains how one Missouri cop is on the ground helping out.
The devastation here in Moore, Oklahoma is widespread and profound, like this house behind me. There are literally hundreds of first responders and search and rescue crews here, not counting the folks here just to clean up. And thanks to some Missouri men, including a Jefferson City police officer, they will be getting a hot meal this morning. That officer tells me he's just returning a favor.
A tornado like this, you never know what's going to happen, and when it does, you just cross your fingers and hope that everything's going to work.
When crossing fingers only goes so far, Oklahoma Fraternal Order of Police President Ron Bartmeyer knows it's okay to call for help.
That's why there was no hesitation when they called. We all just talked to our wives, talked to our bosses, and said, hey, we need to go down there and help these guys. They came up and helped us.
This trip is, in a way, a debt of gratitude for Jefferson City Police Captain Bob Clark and this Missouri FOP crew.
When we got deployed, Jeff City Police Department and all agencies around the state of Missouri went down to Joplin. And what we noticed when you got to Joplin, there was nobody really taking care of the first responders. And not by any meanness or anything like that, but there's so many first responders and they're getting cold lunches and bologna sandwiches and stuff like that. And the Oklahoma guys who have had this disaster trailer, I guess, for some time, they saw the need a long time ago where you're cooking hot food, biscuits and gravy, eggs, and you basically just set up a 24-hour kitchen just to start feeding people because the men and women are out there that are working hard. They need some good nourishment to keep doing the job.
It wasn't long after Joplin's own devastation that the Missouri FOP bought its own trailer.
Because it was such a good idea and it was so useful in Joplin, we felt that we needed to have one in the state of Missouri to help out.
Helping now at a time in Moore when fingers crossed and prayers need a little extra push. Captain Clark tells me the Missouri Fraternal Order of Police is prepared to bring in reinforcements to be here in Moore for a week or longer. But their Oklahoma counterparts say they have been overwhelmed by donations already, and they may only need to be here just a few days. This is destruction that Assistant Boone County Fire Chief says is all too familiar, especially on this, the second anniversary of that Joplin tornado.
You're looking at essentially kind of the crown of this hill here, this high spot, very much like Joplin, where it crested that hill next to the hospital and went down through.
Today's significance isn't lost on Doug Westoff. 2 years ago, he was looking at damage from a similar tornado just closer to home.
It's really just as, just as far as the eye can see, and to imagine what was going on as that storm came through with all the debris and not even being able to identify stuff, rain wrapped, debris flying around. Just unbelievable experience for these folks, I'm sure.
A powerful EF5 twister, winds like Joplin, destruction like Joplin, an outpouring of response like Joplin.
They have it in their heart to do good for their neighbors and their friends.
And for Westoff, it's one part of a bigger effort. He's overseeing some FEMA operations here, coordinating hundreds in an effort that will last for days to come.
These guys are doing a great job. Just look out across here where they're already getting into the cleanup mode. They've obviously made the transition to recovery.
And we have seen that cleanup mode in full gear everywhere we've been in this city today, especially here in this neighborhood, again, east of I-35, far away from what a lot of people consider the ground zero of damage. But we did meet up with some folks over there. They came in packs and by buses. One of them, a Whiteman Air Force Base pilot-to-be. He'll start there this summer. We'll introduce you to him later tonight.
Well, tonight, cleanup begins in Moore, Oklahoma.
ABC 17's Evan Millward is there. He's joining us live.
And Evan, where does the recovery effort stand?
Well, search and rescue has become cleanup and recovery here tonight in Moore. We told you at the top of the broadcast the Emergency Operations Center will close in just about 2.5 hours here. We've also finally been seeing some power poles go back up, and the volunteers have been arriving all day by the busload.
It's so close that there's really no excuse not to be down here to help these guys. We see the houses and everything just absolutely destroyed. Here we are picking up people's lives and their properties.
The pictures, the sound from Moore this week have moved us, but nothing prepares you for being here.
It's really sad when you see the little kids' toys. We saw you know, a couple Halloween costumes and like a pirate hat, and so that really kind of brings it home.
Eric Antonetti's stationed at Vance Air Force Base in Oklahoma. He'll be moving to Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri this summer. But he and a buddy took time off today to be here.
I mean, a photograph right here, you know, a family photo, New Year's Eve, 1999. I mean, this is probably hung on someone's wall in a little family heirloom, and I mean, here it is, just in the middle of essentially a swamp out here, just covered with other debris from homes.
And of all the sound we've heard, the pictures we've seen this week, perhaps this one has moved Antonetti the most.
You think about that hanging on someone's wall, and then you see it here, and, you know, a drainage ditch, and memories that won't ever be restored.
Finding that photo was an especially powerful moment today. That picture was taken just months before the last EF5 tornado here. That was May 3rd, 1999. The death toll during that twister much higher than this one, but the two followed similar paths and have obviously drawn some comparisons over the past couple of days.